So, Warriors did what they were supposed to do. Is recap of the Warriors versus the Trailblazers. First half, my CJ McCollum could not miss, um, and the Warriors were playing good defense. He was hitting a lot of tough shots, and there was a couple of them shots where he with a hand in his face, it didn't matter. So he was hitting a lot of tough shots. In the second half, they adjusted their game plan for them, especially in the third quarter. They made sure they got the ball out of CJ and Dame's hands, and the Warriors were still making costly turnovers. One big thing about the Warriors that has been going on since Steve Kerr has been there, and even before that, when Mark Jackson, they're very careless with the ball. Their offense is really based off of timing and and anticipation. So sometimes they make the passes that they think are supposed to be there, but sometimes they're not, and they don't understand that it's the playoffs. And certain times you gotta cut back on that. Against better teams, they have to play smarter. But besides for that, this was a really good game until the fourth quarter. Durant played amazing. Curry played well. Clay Clay usually does this. Clay always is in his ebbs and flows. He always plays good defense. Whenever his defensive matchup is really tough, you can see it always affects his offense, especially when you watch the finals. In the past 2 years, he's had a horrible finals because his defensive matchup has been uh, tough for him. But I expect this series to definitely go at least no less, like no more than 5 games. If Nurkic come back, then it's going to be different because a lot of those rebounds will become offensive rebounds for the Trailblazers. And Nurkic is like I said, he's a dog. He's a guy out there, and if he can play, I hope he comes back for Game 3. I think they will set him out for Game 2. Game 3 is on Friday. So if Nurkic comes back, this is going to be an interesting series because one thing to watch is definitely watch him versus Draymond Green. Nurkic has a background, like his dad was a bodyguard. He comes from some Eastern country. I think he's from like Slovenia or something like that. But he's a tough guy, and he's a baller. He's a bruiser, and watching him versus Draymond is going to be amazing. One last thing, Draymond Green. This is the Draymond Green that we need to see in the finals if they want to make it to the finals. This is the Draymond Green that us analytic nerds and people that really love basketball want to see. He was intense, but he wasn't too much. He was scoring, but he was doing everything that he needed to do in the flow of the game, and this was such a beautiful game for him. Um, the Warriors are such an amazing team, but the Trailblazers definitely can win one game, but they definitely can steal another. I really wanted CJ McCollum to go after Jordan's 63 points in a game, but the Warriors were not having that. So this is a recap of Game 1. I really love this series. Is something I'm making sure I'm watching every single game of the series because I want to see how it goes. So stay tuned. I'm not going to watch the Bulls game probably, but I'm definitely going to watch the Rockets versus the Thunder. So stay tuned for tonight, and I'll post that recap when the game ends.